What's up, everybody? Let me turn this down. What's up, everybody? It's almost that time of night where I'm about to close these eyes and get some rest. But I wanted to talk about a couple things. And one of those things is progression, and staying focused on your goals. To me, probably about at least 15 years, I've been zoned in on some stuff, but you have to kind of have a balance where you give people attention and time. You have friends, you have family, you have relationships, you have all those things pulling on you for your time and energy, and that's all good. But in the end, like if you, like a man like myself, and every man typically have a drive and a focus to want to achieve and have a legacy of something, So that's pretty much been the focus I've been on for a while. Just trying to make it and get to where I am in a very comfortable space financially. That's been my goal. I spent years on mastering things and challenging things like self-discipline. I remember going a year without having sex. I remember going a year without eating meat. So I've done things, the real time things, not just talked about it in real life, put them to the test, said I was going to do this and reach that goal. And that's hard for a lot of people. You say, okay, I'm done with this meat, or I'm done with sex. So a lot of things I honestly don't be caring about that most people care about. And it can be, you can seem like, you don't care about stuff. In a way I don't, but I'm still a caring person. I still have feelings, but I'm at a level where, man, I feel like you waste a lot of time if you don't lock in on yourself and do what you need to do, because then you're going to be a more confident version of yourself, and then you're going to be able to help everybody and yourself even better. But when you still struggling, you ain't where you want to be at, you have certain things that's kind of holding you back mentally, you're going to be in a dilemma. You're going to be in a battle. You're not going to feel and walk as confident. You're going to have a distraction going on somewhere emotionally, mentally. It can be financially. For mine, it was financial for most of my life. It was a struggle, lack of finances. I didn't focus on those things. I focused on fun and just living, So emotionally, all those things I kind of had to balance, and I got those things balanced earlier than balancing my budget, So I'm saying all this to say, it's important that we all stay focused on our personal walk and do the things we need to do to get to our level of the purpose that you feel or you was directed to walk or do, So I know me, I've been so confident with myself for years. And if the people around me haven't been really listening or paying attention, that's cool. I used to care about those things, but for years I've been locked in, because at the end of the day, ask my wife what I've accomplished in the last 3 years, and I'm saying ask her because she was there to see me get 2 degrees. She seen me get the rental property going. So those things were things that I said in my head, man, one day I'm gonna be 40. One day I'm gonna be 45. I wanna be like this. I don't wanna be like that. I wanna be a certain way. So years prior to now, I was locked in on trying to be where I'm, striving and closer to being now. Just somebody who can support his family. Thank God, man, I've been holding down, my son 3 years old now, been holding down his daycare. For 3 years, I've been holding down his daycare. And to me, I was telling people it's down now to like $217 every week. So every Monday, $217. It was at $258 at one point, and we had a discount because of me being an educator. So that helped out a lot. But it still was high to me in my world. Everybody levels and budget different. I can't only speak for myself. So for me, that's a hard one to get every Monday. So I thank God and I give him the praise for blessing me to have certain things and put me in a position where those things pay for their daycare or help in some cases. Because if I didn't have those things, I'd be in another struggle again in my head, and that's gonna build anxiety, and that might lead to stress, depression. So I stay in a place of thanks and also a place of action and focus, because like that poem I told y'all to check out, my if I already posted. Dream dreams, but don't make dreams your master. That's how far that line was. There's so many 5 lines in there if y'all go back and get some free game on that. But, I told you I was an excellent daydreamer. I can go and used to have them daydreams, and man, life's so beautiful. You can just imagine anything you want. But that's daydream land. You got to make a daydream a reality if you really want to do it. So we all get distracted by all kind of things, and it's important to stay focused on our personal growth, because if you don't, you're going to be spiraling, you're going to be all down the road, and you're not going to have that peace that you're looking for. You're not going to have that comfort that you're looking for. When you get to a point where you just have just enough and you have peace and stuff, man, you winning. All this other stuff is extra. If I get some extra, I'd be like, oh man, that's really a blessing. But just to even make the mark, to me, I'd be so satisfied because it don't take me that much. So for years, my own wife, she didn't even realize. She was probably the only person I was really engaging into some form of deeper communication, because a lot of my communication had changed to just casual conversation, unless it's just my partners, but I changed my mind frame and just kept conversations casual. I used to tell niggas casual convo, man, because you don't want to be getting too deep and lost into things that will just distract us, that get on our emotions. We'll take things personal, because everybody, one thing I'm learning and double down on it, and it's becoming even clearer at this age, we all thinking from a self point of view. And a lot of time our understanding is because of our experience, and rightfully so. But when we do that, we don't realize everybody have a different walk and a different perspective. So it can be very challenging, and people can get their emotions into stuff. That's why politics get so hostile. That's why religion gets so hostile. All that stuff can get very hostile. Relationships, because people don't want to hear anything negative about themselves. We don't want to hear criticisms for real. We rather hear the good stuff. Come on, let's be honest. And we can say, oh yeah, we can take this and take. Most people can't. If you really tell them and do whatever. But the truth of the matter is, people feel better when you just keeping it cool. They don't really want you to tell them about you need to do this to do that. They usually have their mind made up already, and they know how they want to do and move. So you really you can't say much, but try to be supportive. The folks you can really tell your truth to, and they really serious out here and focus. But some people, they can't take nothing, man. Unfortunately, which is cool, but even me, if I was doing a job or something and somebody came to me and they said, hey, you need to do this, I'm not gonna feel my best. That kind of make you feel down. But when you hearing something good, you feel up, And just like observe my son, when he not getting something he want, he go already into, well, you're not my best friend. Getting mad. Some he learned from the kids and stuff at the daycare and all that stuff too. But it's down because he's not getting his way, or he's not having something he want. You're not listening. People grow up and become that same way. And one of my biggest things was, and I killed this 20-some years ago, I was keen on people listening to me because I always made sure I listened to people. I was so attentive. I'm not as attentive as I used to be. I just try to listen for key words because sometimes people be just talking, but I used to listen so much and be so passionate and connect, and I was locked in. And then I realized, dang, people ain't listening to me like that. They can't remember what I said. So then now it sounds like I'm being hard on them. Now it sounds like I'm being, I'm not being cool, But I want to be heard, Just like vice versa, when something affecting them, they want to be heard, And if I don't respond the way they want me to respond, they're gonna feel some type of way. That's how people are, Unfortunately, So you really just need to. You can't say much, and that's cool, And I like it that way because I'm about that action. See, what they said, less talking, more action. There was a lot of quotes about you don't want to just be talking. So those things can be a distraction. So for me, before I got married and before I proposed to my wife and stuff, I already knew what I wanted to invest the rest of my life in, because that's how I was raised. I was, they say, oh, you get married, it's supposed to be for a lifetime. Now, obviously, you got divorces, everything don't necessarily work out how they was teaching us when we was young. But my point is, that was the era I was in, and that's my mentality. So I forecast and plan. So when I was saying, will you be my wife, I already knew what I was progressing myself into. I already knew, she probably necessarily didn't think I was locked in with her like I need to be, or whatever. I'm just giving an example. But that's how I was. That's how I am. Actions speak louder than words. But the key is, through all the distractions, we have to continue to focus on making ourselves better spiritually, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, financially. All those components are important to good health. Physically, I'm gonna put the video out soon with my health, and my face look a little slimmer compared to last year. So, and I gained a little bit more weight than last week, but I had lost 27 pounds. I got fat to me, so I'm just I got to get back on it even more. But the point is, we gonna get distracted. Stay the course though, and you just don't want to be out here offending people, man. Don't nobody want to hear that. I just had a good discussion about education and race, and one of my good friends, like, she's been a good friend since I met her. But we had a discussion about race, and she said she don't see color. And and I was telling her, I said, well, they got this thing called colorblind as it pertains to race. And that's when people say stuff like that. But to a black person, when you say that, it's kind of dismissive, because you don't really acknowledge the fact that, hey, my skin tone is the stigma that made us go through what we've been through, my people, here. And, Martin Luther King, he explained it very well in this little short 2-minute video about, blacks being the only immigrant that was a slave on this soil, So it's deep rooted. It was, like I was telling her, you might have been poor, you might have had struggle, but they used to have water fountains that say white only. And you can be poor, but if you white, you can go drink out that water fountain. If I go drink out that water fountain, they're gonna try to beat the shit out of me. For what? Cause my skin tone. So it was heavy, and I wasn't tripping at all, but I was just letting her know it sounds dismissive when you talk like that. And I told them about this word called white fragility I learned when I was getting my specialist degree. And that's when white people get uncomfortable and defensive when you talk about race and stuff like that. And which is understandable. I get it. But the point is, she wanted to make me know so much how she struggled and how she don't really see color and how she's a good person, which that's what she is. But I was letting her know, when you saying it like that and you being a white person, it sounds dismissive, because it's a difference. But beautiful spirit, beautiful person, but it just goes to the example or what I was trying to tell y'all earlier. People, they're gonna think how they think in their world, in their perspective. They haven't been around the culture. I don't know what it is to be a female. I have to defer, when it comes to those female topics, So, same way, same method. I know how it is being a black person in America. But it's a sensitive subject, and people only want to hear what they want to hear, and we only know what we think we know out of our perspective. And some of us are open-minded, but even us open-minded people, when we hear something that's different, it's just a different energy. It wasn't no connection at that moment. It was like just, it didn't hit. A connective moment is when people be like, oh, yeah, I feel you, you know. But when people say stuff that's opposite, it kind of make us feel some type of way. That's human nature. But at the end of the day, those are small conversations. That's casual conversations that I rarely do for real. But I did that for them because, you know, they cool with me. You know, I feel like I can talk about it, and we still cool today. But I'm saying, typically, I won't have conversations with people about those type of things because you don't want to offend nobody, and you don't want to make people feel. Everybody have they way thinking about stuff. The Creator, this universe is a power. You might not believe it, but there's a power in it. That's it'll show them. Some people say calm, or some people say whatever, but it's an energy that is gonna get you aligned to wherever you need to be, if you need to be there. So I don't try to tell nobody nothing, but what I can tell them, you know, the good, but all the extra stuff, no. I'm not gonna do that and hurt nobody's feelings or none. You know, we ain't trying to do none of that. But sometimes we're humans, so you want to just say how you feel and express it. I get it, but stay more focused on your personal goals and what you're trying to achieve. Because in the end, like my partner say, when you dead and when they doing your eulogy and your obituary, it's just gonna be talking about you being a good woman or a good man, you know, a good son, a good husband, good wife, good brother, good sister. Ain't gonna get into all the racial conversations or political conversations or whatever, spiritual conversations. So make your mark, you know, by being you and rocking yourself and staying focused and locking in on what you think you are confident in doing or contributing in this life. And it ain't always got to be money, because you ain't got to be, we all know you ain't got to be a millionaire to feel good. Shoot, if I had 250 a year, that'd be like $1 million to me in my world. So, you know, you can jump it up. It ain't like you can't reach certain levels in life, you know. So we just got to stay positive, keep encouraging ourselves and keep encouraging each other. And hopefully we'll be able to get to that purpose, you know, because with me, that's all it's about at this point. I really don't. I'm coming to these, I'm doing these trainings, and all that money go to my son daycare or some home-related thing. Like my daughters, I got them cars. How many parents can buy cars? God bless me to do that, y'all, you know. And I did it when they was in high school. They in college now. But I did it because I was intentional too. I had a plan to do that years before that time came. My wife, she couldn't do that, right? But I knew I wanted to be able to do that. My wife don't have to contribute to the daycare because her money, if she got a blessing, got a job or a raise, I don't want her to have to take from that. Like I used to always tell her, that's yours. Keep all that, keep everything. I'm trying to lighten your load. That's what we're supposed to be, lightening each other's loads. Not taking away. You're supposed to be building. You know, they don't be understanding what they supposed to be doing, you know, and working against folks. But that's, you know, how my goals were, to lighten loads and say, hey, you know, I want my daughters to have a car when they go to college. Hopefully, my goal was to give them a car in high school and then have that car get them through college. And they so smart, I hope they go and get their first job, and then they buy their own whatever kind of car they want. But as a father, I help get them started in the right direction. Now that's a blessing. I'm winning. That's more than anything. That's a flex to me. That's why I feel the way I feel and felt the way I felt so many years. I used to tell my wife. So I don't have the same feeling maybe she had or whoever had. I'm just using my wife for example, because I've been locked in for a purpose, and it showed in its due season. So, so hopefully those God keep their cars up as long as, they need them, but it was very intentional, and it was for a purpose, and all my money probably took away from maybe my date nights, probably took away from maybe us eating out, probably took away from all kind of other little stuff. But that's the sacrificial part of a blessing or end goal. You have to take away something. Everybody gotta know that. And then you get something. You take away the discipline of not eating meat, your body start to shape up different. You start to feel different. You start to feel like you taking away to get something. It's just that's the law. So that's what I did all those times. I focused in, and I made sure that I was doing the right things, and I was focused in, because when these girls turn 16, they gonna want a car. That's God. That's God in effort. That's the effort. You gotta put. I can't daydream that. I could daydream it, and the daydreams were beautiful, but I had to put that daydream, and I had to make that daydream a reality with my actions. And that's what the actions do. The actions come in that thing and get you where you need to be at. So let's just stay focused, because at the end of the day, it's all about the action, what we produce, what we doing. All that talking stuff, y'all can have it. I'm retired. I've been retired for real. Everybody know everything. Can't tell folks nothing. So, if that's how it is, okay. I thought I knew what I knew, but obviously I didn't. My mom told me you live and learn, so I retired on that part. So I focus on action, y'all. You gotta be an action Jackson. I've been saying that for you. That's what I do. Then after the girls, they cars, Mars about to be born, he gonna need daycare. He's gonna need something. I need to invest in this, invest in that. Everything for me is intentional. With for years, because you got to play for keeps, because you don't know how long you got. You don't know when your last time on this earth. My niece just lost 4 cousins, so you just never know. So you gotta count your blessings, and you gotta stay focused. So that's why I just keep on just every day grinding. I'm here grinding, leading or training, trying to get some extra so it can help my family situation. And that's all that matters, man. Then you get blessed from that. Having your I used to tell my wife, and I told my friends this: you want to have money where you can have you some trips. You should have some money, have you and your wife trip, you and your friends trip, you and your whole family trip, her and her friends trip. Just to have that balance, man. It's just healthy. But those were always my goals and dreams. But those things don't come if you don't put the grind in. So stay focused. That's the purpose. Stay focused. Another book that was suggested to me years ago that I think is a key thing too. My homeboy put me on Napoleon Hill, I think. outwitting the devil, because it talks about drifting. And man, that's one of the toughest things for all of us as humans. You'll drift. And basically drifting ain't nothing but distractions. You know, people can be distractions, jobs can be distractions, social media, you know, all kind of things, food, sex, you know, anything we can think of. It's a lot of distractions, but you can't be drifting, because La La Land ain't gonna get no action done. All right, so it's getting late, so have a good night. If you're checking this out during the day, enjoy your day. But most important, like I always say, enjoy your life.